Hey, welcome back. Well, we're going to talk about the 10,000 hour rule today, and just in case you've been living under a rock, the 10,000 hour rule is this principle that came, I believe it was Malcolm Gladwell actually, who invented the notion that it's not even an invention, it's just like it's just a fact of life. A really good example of what he uses is that in an American music conservatorium, there's the levels that different violinists are in. So I believe that first grade is obviously the top, and then it goes down to third grade. What they noticed is that the people in third grade did about 2,500 hours of violin, i.e. they started around high school. Then the next grade up did about 5,000 hours of violin practice, which means that they started in middle school. And then the ones that were at the very, very top did 10,000 hours, meaning that they started when they were a kid, and they probably just had some parent that was like, you study now. And they're like, but the thing is that they are geniuses at the violin now. It's the same as Mozart. Mozart, everybody thinks that he's a musical genius, and absolutely he was. I'm not going to take away any credit from him at all. He had natural ability. But even if he did have natural ability, is that as impressive? I don't think so. Are you really impressed because you're like, oh my god, that fish can swim faster than me? No, it was just born that way. What is impressive is his commitment. He started when he was 3 years old. Apparently, before he could even talk, he was on the piano going. So eventually, he became a musical genius prodigy. And even though he died at an early age, he was so good at the piano because that's all he did, day in and day out, was practice the piano, that he became a champion at it. And the thing is, you can do it too with literally anything that you choose. If you put 10,000 hours in it, of course you're going to improve at it. Do you think that after 10,000 hours you wouldn't have improved one iota? Even if you don't become the world champion at it, which all statistics and research shows that you will if you put in that much effort, because who else does that? Very few people on the planet will put that much effort and focus into something that they'll master it, because usually that takes about 7 years to complete if you're doing it on a 3 to 4 hour a day basis. A really good little side story that relates to that actually is recently I was reading in, I can't remember what magazine it was, let's just assume that it was the Reader's Digest, but there was a story about this dude that quit his job as a paramedic, started to play golf on a regular basis, got really obsessed with it, and then learned about the 10,000 hours rule, and so he's actively clocking it up. They're now using him as a scientific experiment to see whether this theory pays off or whether it's something to do with childhood. But it looks like, so far, it's on track to exactly what it is. He's only clocked about 4,000 hours at this point, but already, from someone who played absolutely no golf whatsoever, so he'd probably be one of the worst players on the planet as a result of that, now he's better than 85% of the world at golf. He could be pro within 6,000 hours more, because he's not even halfway yet, and he's already at that level. Phenomenal improvement. He's at the point where he's at the top of pretty much every golf club that he goes to, unless he goes to something that, say, Tiger Woods is at, which, another perfect example of that. Yes, he was clearly a genius, because everyone always says, oh yeah, he was playing golf on Letterman when he was 4. Yeah, he was. But the thing is, there was probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of people that could have been doing that on Letterman at that time that were that good. It was just lucky that he was on Letterman. There's probably a lot of prodigy children that are very good at golf. What is amazing about Tiger Woods is his work ethic and the fact that he's just like, damn, how many chicks has that guy plowed? That's like, no, that's horrible. But he's what is really, what you can't take away from this man is that he is a god of sport. And so, as a result of that, it's basically the two things that are combined: your natural talent, and then obviously just working at it. Because, as the great science self-help book is entitled, talent is overrated. It's so true, though. Nobody can be that arrogant as to say that they don't need to practice their skill day in and day out and cultivate it, because we live in an incredibly competitive world. We live in a world where there will be kids, even at the Olympics at this point for the moment, say the Chinese and the Koreans are experts now at figuring out what are the sports that you don't need natural talent, i.e. not focusing on running and putting all of their money into, say, shooting or archery, the things that if you just do it over and over and over and over again, you will become great at it. So it's not even a case of, yes, there's some things on the planet that if you have a natural ability for it, maybe academia or maybe running, those things you definitely do need to have a natural talent at it at the beginning. But the point is that you cannot be world champion status without putting in massive amounts of effort, and then the huge criticism that everybody always has that comes up and pops into their head is 10,000 hours, I don't want to do that much work. Well, 10,000 hours of your life is going to pass by anyway. What would you rather do? Sit on your ass and watch television and not get good at anything, or try and accumulate something in a field where you can become a true expert at it and as a result get paid a lot of money and also become a greater human being in the process because even doing it, no matter what you're doing, even if you want to become a oil giant, which is just obviously a very deplorable thing, if you see most oil giants on the planet, I think that they're really evil people, and it's because they are. It's just a fact. But if you look at them as an individual human being, these people are the most generous, nice, kind human beings on the planet because they put so much time, they put their heart and souls into becoming an evil corporate giant that as a result they actually become a great human being in themselves. If you have a more noble purpose, that'd be great. But I'm running out of battery here. But if you have a noble purpose, that's even better. But the point is that in the process of just accumulating a skill, you will become a more disciplined, more focused person. So make sure that you do that. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you just go, but I don't know what to do with my life. It's just, what are you interested in the moment? It doesn't matter what it is. If you're just got a passing interest in ancient Egyptian history, start studying it every single day. And then if you become really interested in it, then you'll move on to the 10,000 hours. But at least develop that habit of sitting down and studying on one subject. Don't become a jack of all trades. Become a master. See you around.